Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method that reveals smart money buy and sell levels, and BORSOG trading, which helps to get you into synchronization with the markets. If you're new, a very warm welcome. And welcome back, KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 0.45% to 19,938. Ethereum is up 0.43% to 1353. Just to let you know, the next CTKS Partial Masterclass Scholarship to be awarded will be the Tails one. And you can apply for the Partial Masterclass Scholarship in the link in the description. The CTKS Masterclass is a premium Rolls-Royce level masterclass on crypto technical analysis. Each and every day, we do our three-dimensional risk management. First of all, we determine from our probabilities whether the market will go down, go flat, or go up. Next, we look into how the market could move against our specific trade or portfolio. And lastly, we think about how synchronized in with the market we are. We know the market will never know us, but it always rewards our active learning. The more active learning you do, the more the market will reward you. And if you're new to our KS Global family, a very warm welcome, and you'll understand what these numbers now mean. From running the numbers each and every day with you, I believe a big move is coming. That could be a big move up or a big move down. We must be prepared. Fed officials keep hammering hawkish messages on rates heading up. And we can see they're not wrong. There's a 73.1% probability of a 75 basis point increase in the next FOMC meeting, which is in about 27 days. And we can see that is up from a 65.9% probability just 1 day ago and a 53.2% probability 1 week ago. A lot of people have been anticipating a Fed pivot. I've said for quite a while now that's unlikely. Fed headed for a 4.5% to 4.75% interest rate by early 2023, says Evans. We can already see this in the chart that we look at pretty much every day. The current prediction on the federal funds rate for April 2023 is 4.555%. We can see this level of interest rates has overcome two levels of resistance and is being supported by a level of support. This means that the minor retracement that happened for quite a few days with the yields, the 2-year, the 20-year, the 5-year, the 10-year, and the 30-year could be very short-lived because this is a massive uptrend. It's got a lot of momentum behind it. This momentum has been very bad for the stock markets and also for crypto. We can see Bitcoin actually dealing with it much, much better than the NASDAQ. But what we actually see is that we have a kind of a basing pattern in Bitcoin at the moment. It could signify short-term turnarounds, but only if the yields start to come down. We need to cover a wide range of things, and we can see stocks slide with anxiety running high before the jobs report. What is this jobs report they talk about? What we'll actually see, there are 3 job reports: average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and the unemployment rate. We've seen the ADP non-farm employment change coming in much hotter than anticipated. The current employment market is very, very strong. A lot of people think that's great, fantastic, there are a lot of jobs. Actually, that's not what the Fed and the central banks want. They want to weaken demand because inflation is pretty much out of control. And when you see the ISM services PMI coming in better than expected, that's actually a negative. That will push the federal funds rate up, not down. What the market is basically telling us is that they anticipate the jobs rate will be better than anticipated. It will come in hotter. And if it comes in hotter, that means that the federal funds rate, the probability of a 75 basis point increase or potentially even a 100 basis point increase will be on the cards. We know that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So let's have a look at what's happening in the S&P 500. I was pointing out yesterday that we've seen a retracement to this level of resistance. What happens from here on in is incredibly important. If we manage to get above this level of resistance and hold it, and take out this higher level of resistance playing in around here, we're going to do really well and the markets will rally. It's very important to understand price is always moving in a wave. No matter what price does, you can always benefit if you know how to deal with the markets. We can see the overlay here of 9 sell-offs and recoveries in the S&P 500 since 1966, mapped to the current price, and we've been doing this for quite a while. So let's drill in to the S&P 500 using our structural lines derived through the CTKS method to determine where smart money buys and sells. The CTKS method is a method of technical analysis that I invented for more than 30 years inside financial markets. It updates normal stock market and forex technical analysis to be able to cope with exponential price action. It also reveals the true structure of the market. So what we can see here, price got very, very dangerous around the 1st of October. And this was, of course, when the dollar was rallying. We've seen the dollar come back and the stock markets and Bitcoin basically sigh in relief. But what we're seeing now is potentially the dollar strengthening. There's so many different things that you need to keep your eye on if you are professional in your trading or investing. We can see that the 3777 and 77 cents level is a really important level. We can just say 3777 so it's easier for you to remember. What we actually see, we've seen a number of rejections, but we had a very big push up in price. I believe it all comes down to the dollar now. But if we can get above this 38.49 level, it's not a lot of structural resistance above that. However, smart money will be selling at these levels. Please be aware. Even though a potential big move is coming, we have many rules which are discussed inside the masterclass. Rule 252, prepared and not scared, is one of them. The dollar currently is 112.262. We can see a very sharp move up in the dollar. And now what's happening? It's forming a bit of a resistance arc. We can see it's trying to get through this 112.251 level and turn it to support. But there's a lot of sellers, a lot of smart money is actually pushing the price down right here, right now. It's still got to get up to the 112.731 mark. If we start to get over the current price, where we are now in the DXY, the 112.262, please be aware that this could actually signal a lot of further momentum to the upside. We can see already that we've bypassed one level of resistance. We've bypassed another secondary level of resistance, a tertiary level of resistance, and we've been making higher lows each time. The dollar is actually showing strength, and that will weaken the crypto and stock markets. You can see that the 113.950 mark is a very important mark. If we get above 112.731 and then get above 113.950, there's not much resistance up to 115.998. As crypto technical analysts, we look at everything because we need to build up probabilistic views on the market. One thing to bear in mind, Bitcoin is currently trading at 19,906. The Armageddon line is 18,942. What's an Armageddon line and why does it matter? Armageddon lines are all about a lack of underpinning support. If there's not a lot of real support structurally underneath a specific asset class, it can drop like a brick until it becomes magnetized to structure. And that's what the CTKS method does. It actually reveals market structure for the first time. Right now, we're currently in an uptrend. So what we're actually hoping for is the dollar to start to come down. That will form a higher low here on Bitcoin, and of course inside the stock markets as well. Bitcoin is one of the riskiest asset classes out there. So why do we take on this risk? Because risk equals return. To give you a bit of understanding, if we invert the DXY, this green line, you can see how the inverted DXY is actually influencing Bitcoin at the present time. It's a really good signal to keep your eye on. And how is the NASDAQ index actually following the DXY, and how is it influencing Bitcoin? You can see they're all moving together. Don't forget, that's the inverted DXY. One thing to keep in mind, we'll get up to a level of intermediate and short-term resistance at around 20,859. In truth, the structure of Bitcoin doesn't look too bad right now. We've got an uptrend, and we've got a fairly definable uptrend. It's also over a lot of resistance above this 19,605 mark. So it actually looks quite good, but we must understand how the broader market impacts crypto. Because of Rule 225, we keep our awareness on the main markets because Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity, especially when the stock market tanks. You'll see a lot of very, very helpful people just try to say, well, the resistance is around here because, hey, you know, this is the past month or so. So this is the resistance. It doesn't actually work that way. Structural resistance and support come from analyzing all of price action, not just the recent price action. Unless something's only been in existence a week or two, then that's absolutely fine. But if, for example, Bitcoin has been trading for over a decade, hey, guess what? You have to analyze all of Bitcoin's price action to understand structural resistance and structural support. That's what the CTKS method does, the method that I invented to make sure that you understand where smart money is buying and selling. And you learn all about the CTKS method inside the masterclass. You don't have to guess. So many people are guessing where a support and resistance level actually is. They're in very specific points, and they're scientifically demonstratable as well. We can see we're under a smart money sell level currently at 19,993 and 57 cents. We've got a bit of a gap here, so we could actually drop down to that 19,570 mark. But we've also got a level of support below that at 19,427. Remember that the Armageddon line is close at 18,942. Another thing to consider is that there's not a lot of resistance, not a lot of structural resistance, smart money resistance in between 20,243 and 23,288. If we get a big move up here, it could be absolutely awesome. Let me know in the comments, do you think Bitcoin will make its way above 20,243 and enter this party zone, which it basically is, because there's no structural resistance in there? People can look at a short-term time period and say, oh, there's resistance here and there's resistance there because I saw this candle and that must be resistance. Remember, resistance is formed over a long period of time, not a short one. If we hold, we could have a big move up to 23,288. Bitcoin is currently trading at 19,936. If we fall down below the Armageddon line of 18,942, a lot of longs will be setting all of their stops under here, and price could cause a cascading long liquidation. You can see cascading long liquidations, these big red lines. That's what that actually does. And the other thing to note is that the shorts have set their stop levels above here, above, say, 20,500. So if we actually get price rollipping up to there, rollipping, is that a word? Well, anyway, if we get price going up above 20,500, it could cascade short liquidations, causing a short squeeze up to the 23,000 mark. So keep these two things in mind. to gain a greater understanding on what the shorts and longs could be potentially doing. And we've seen price come down, so we would expect a lot of long liquidations. But it's quite interesting that the shorts have been coming out and the longs have been buying the dip. We can see over the past 24 hours there's been 49.31 million in 24-hour liquidations, which is crazy low, only across 20,650 positions. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually very, very little. When we look at the past 24 hours, about 50% of liquidations have been long. This is total liquidations, around 67% long for the past 12 hours. What about the past 4 hours? About 88% long. And what about the past hour? 92%. Yeah, let's round up. So what we're actually seeing is there's been more longs liquidations just currently on a percentage basis than short liquidations. But overall in the past 24 hours, there's been more short liquidations than long liquidations. You gotta love statistics. But the real thing to take note of here, this is tiny. This is like weekend trading. It's utterly nothing. When we look over the past trading session, we can see the DXY did in fact romp up. And what's that all about? People are going to cash because there's so much uncertainty at the present time. But we did witness the Nasdaq getting above this very short-term intermediate resistance level. It's just trying to figure out, is it going to collapse down, find support, and then come up? It's very, very on edge at the moment. The markets are on the edge of a razor blade. There's a lot of global uncertainty, and we did see a rise up in the VIX. The junk bonds are indicating that risk on is there, but it's a little bit more tentative, and we can see oil. With the OPEC Plus cuts coming through, 2 million barrels per day, it's literally squeezing the price of oil. And what does that do to inflation? It raises it. What does that do to yields? It raises them because central banks will have to increase their interest rates. But it's really interesting because if you read about OPEC Plus, they're saying, oh, we have to raise these because interest rates are going up. As bond yields rise, bond prices fall because of the mathematical properties between the two things. And we've seen gold just start to just wobble around a bit. It hasn't come down so much as to reflect the increase in the dollar because there's more geopolitical tension in the world. We have geopolitical tension between Russia and Ukraine, and of course it's brought the whole of Europe and the world into that. There's geopolitical tension in North Korea, and you can see they'd love to fire missiles. There's geopolitical tension, China and Taiwan across the strait, but that's kind of taken a bit of a back seat of late. We can see by monitoring ship traffic that the Taiwan Strait is very, very busy, and it is a very busy area. And we can see around North Korea, not much traffic there at all, but that's normal. We can see in terms of air traffic that although North Korea has been firing missiles right, left and center, the air traffic has not been adversely affected, and we can see the same across China and Taiwan. The dollar is currently going up because it's a flight to safety. Fed official says inflation is stubbornly persistent, justifying rapid rate rises. And Governor Lisa Cook said, it is critical that we prevent an inflationary psychology from taking hold. We've been discussing this inside the YouTube channel for quite a while, since Jackson Hole. Jerome Powell, in his Jackson Hole speech, talked about irrational inattention. What a combination of words. It basically means that consumers and businesses are baking in the psychology of increased prices into their purchasing and selling decisions, which entrenches inflation. This is what Lisa is talking about here. We need to prevent that psychology. We do this analysis each and every day because to trade your beloved alts, you need to know so much. If you don't know a lot and you just look at the alt in front of you, whatever that particular beloved alt is, and you trade that chart, you're not actually accounting for the 50 or 100 charts that influence that one chart. And this is what we look at inside the masterclass. But getting your psychology right is incredibly important. Having a positive excellence focus in life actually makes you happy on your way to success, and that's really important. Success is a journey, it's not a destination. We know from Rule 45 that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We can see Bitcoin has come down 0.47%, and the global crypto market cap has decreased 0.48% in the last day, down to $955.65 billion. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, Casper just come out of nowhere like a ghost, up 25.22%, XTC up 4.8%, Monero up 4.4%, basically, Ravencoin a little over 4%, TWT Trust Wallet up 2.5%, and Uni 1.44% up. Helium sinking down with the honor of the greatest loser in the past 24 hours, down a little over 10%. BNB just sharply dropping now, down 3.13%. Lunacy down 4%. Bitcoin Cash down a little, just close to 3%. Leo around 2.5% down, and Chainlink a little over 2% down. It's critically important to understand how Bitcoin's gravitational pull plays out on your beloved alts. There's so many reasons to look at Bitcoin, and so many people just don't look at it. They say, "Oh, Ken, it's too expensive. I'm not going to be able to afford that." The truth is, if you can put $1,000 into one crypto, you could put it into Bitcoin. It's still the same $1,000. It just depends on the percentage return. And we can see ETH following in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Take particular attention to the ups and the downs. That's what you want to look for. Look at BNB. BNB came down very, very hard recently, overextending Bitcoin's slight decrease. This is something to be aware of. Let's have a look at ADA. And why might I say this is something to be aware of? Please let me know in the comments. We can see ADA moving in directional correlation with Bitcoin, but much, much weaker at the present time. XRP also weaker. This is on the 30-minute. And Solana pretty much in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, just a little bit weaker. Doge is a bit weaker, and we can see Doge as over and under exaggerating different movements. This is how you get weakness or strength in a particular alt. DOT is much weaker than Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. Matic is stronger than Bitcoin's gravity. Matic's been doing quite well. Let's extend our analysis a little bit, and please let me know, is there a beloved alt that you would like me to analyze? I can put potentially 8 up tomorrow. Let's see how we go. SHIB, moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, but weaker. Remember, the weak become strong and the strong become weak. Tron is just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, but it's got a little bit more strength. Go Tron. AVAX moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, but weaker. Uni moving in alignment, but showing strength. Litecoin showing weakness, but still moving in alignment. Link showing weakness as well. Atom showing weakness, but you can see this directional correlation, the directional bias. The gravitational pull of Bitcoin is absolute. A lot of people don't actually know this. They think that Bitcoin is something that only maximalists look at. And of course, maxis, Bitcoin maxis are all about Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is just one crypto. Actually, understanding the alts, the ecosystem of alts is really, really important. And we can see FTT moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity, but just a little bit weaker at the present time. Because of Rule 4, price moves in waves. You'll often experience fear followed by joy, followed by fear. People typically sell when price goes down and typically buy when price goes up. This places them on the wrong side of the percentage. It's incredibly important to master emotional control, and that's Rule 734. Rule 733, professionals are not emotional. You can imagine if you were going in for surgery and your surgeon was highly emotional, you probably wouldn't want to get operated on by that person. Instead, you'd probably prefer someone cool, calm, and collected. And what we actually do is to make volatility your best friend. That's how we actually approach the markets as crypto technical analysts. There were so many fantastic quotes and shares on empathy from yesterday's video. I want to make this a fairly quick video, so please keep those coming on empathy and we'll chat about them in tomorrow's video. And thanks for everyone, or I should say everyone's comments. We have just an incredible global family. We're also incredibly supportive of one another. We are an incredibly positive and optimistic global family. Empathy is such an important thing to talk about because with it you can experience happiness. Otherwise you'll experience anxiety. It's important that you run the numbers each and every day, understanding what things mean. And doing your BORSOG code means that the market sees that you're taking it seriously. You're taking your investments and trades seriously. It will absolutely reward you for that. Don't be swayed about what other people say. Look to the numbers. We do know that a big move is definitely incoming. It could be to the downside or it could be to the upside. At times like this, when there is structural uncertainty, it's really important that you guard your capital. But the key thing is to keep on trying, to keep on synchronizing in with the market and keep a positive attitude. No matter what price is doing, there are always opportunities in the crypto market and they can be fantastic. That's why we have the CTKS Creed to prime our minds for profitability. And please note, in the social, SPN is always 14.67%. Whoa, what a great return. Unfortunately, that's an error. The CTKS Creed is a series of positive affirmations that you say to yourself with feeling each and every day. It primes your mind for profitability in the crypto market, but also primes your mind for happiness along the path towards success. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities and life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. These positive affirmations that you share with yourself each and every day will be a game changer in your life. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market as well as the stock market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use, and links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please seek out a CTKS ambassador to get 80% off. And if you're in financial hardship, you can also apply for the partial scholarship. The link is in the description as well. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. And please note, I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. If you have friends or family who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do each and every day, please introduce them to our community by sharing a video. We'd love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. Thank you also to the CTKS ambassadors for assisting Masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.